Hello everybody and welcome to another knockoff review. In today's video, thanks to the team at Toys, we're taking a look at the Black Mamba interpretation of power of the Prime's Grimlock. As you can see, it's sporting a slightly different colour scheme. I have no idea why they did this. They've kind of made them very kind of Power Ranger-esque. It's not personally my cup of tea, but I wanted to have a look at Grimlock nonetheless and just see how he fares. I have my legs round this way. Am I meant to have them round so that is at the front? Like that? Is that the correct transformation? Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? Either way, it's two toes and two toes, but I suppose it cleans it up a little bit, doesn't it? So there we go. There we have Grimlock. All intents and purposes, it's pretty much identical, just kind of upscaled, although as an interesting turn of events, they've kept his combiner ports for his limbs the same size as the Power of the Primes, so we can still use the other dinos, which is a slightly odd choice, but at the same time can look actually really nice with the arms. They kind of really square up. Now, head sculpt, really nice, really bold green eyes there, nice jaw, chomping, clean application of paint throughout. Now, of course, this is Black Mamba. This is by no means their best work. This is kind of more their budget end in comparison, but still not a terrible figure. Fair bit of heft to him. There's some die cast thrown in there as well. The label I applied myself. I just stuck a normal logo over there and just sliced down the middle, but it does the job. He's got his little bitty tiny white arms there. Now, he does come with two accessories. He comes with his sword and he comes with a blaster. Nothing out of the ordinary, but they work. And when we have them alongside the other dinos, this is where we kind of question their decision-making skills. It doesn't look right. Especially with the likes of Sludge. I mean, he should be at least the same size, if not taller, well taller than a T-Rex. But what do I know? Maybe this is a super T-Rex they're going to like discover sometime in Argentina or something like that. But you get the idea of how it would look. I know they've oversized Slag already, but he's done in blue. I haven't ordered him yet. And I know that they've oversized Slash. She hasn't been released yet to my knowledge. And I think they're going to oversize one of these two, but I'm not entirely convinced. I'll just have to wait and see. But for now, this is how they look. I mean, he stands around the 6.5 inch mark. That's around 16 to 17 centimeters. So he's a good height. It kind of reminds me very much of the G1 version of Grimlock. Wow, how the G1 version would have felt when I was a child. Now, joints on my particular model are nice and tight, everything holds together, but I've heard that some people have got ones where the actual ball sockets and ratchets or something, they're all kind of damaged. They're ones that have been purchased off eBay, etc. But yeah, nothing wrong with this one at all. Everything's nice and solid. Articulation wise, the head can go up and down, the jaw can move up and down. We've got these ball mounted arms. The legs are on ratchets, forwards and backwards, friction out to the side. Upper knee rotation there. We've got a double jointed bend on that knee, so you can bend and twist and turn his legs as you see fit. And the tail does move up and down on that ratchet. Also got a little bit of articulation on the tip of the tail as well. And here we have him alongside his Power of the Primes counterpart. Now, bear in mind, the Power of the Primes version does have the Perfect Effects add-on kit, but it doesn't really vastly affect the height in his dino mode. But to give you an idea, I mean, this is a good scale in comparison. I get Grimlock transformed up. It's not the most difficult of transformations. We just need to untab this head, bring that up, and there's a neck joint. It's just going to tab in like so. We can then tab these sections here, bring these around to the rear, which allows us to bring this section up, and there's a groove just for this to sit in either side. That's going to ratchet up, that's going to tab in on either side. Come around to the arms, you want to flip open the fists on either side, make sure the waist is compressed down, and you then just need to separate those legs. And here is alongside Grimlock in both their robot modes. Again, bear in mind that we've got this additional thigh section on there which kind of filled Grimlock out a bit, but I kind of hope that they KO and oversize the Perfect Effects kits, because this is a fun figure and it's a really good kind of leader class size. It's just let down by the lack of kind of correct proportions, and I like what the Perfect Effects kit did to this Grimlock, especially when we get him into combined form. It makes the world of difference, and it's kind of still lacking from the Black Mamba version. For a quick robot scale comparison, I've got a variety of other figures here as well. We've got Striker Manus, KO, and we have the oversized Black Mamba version of Nitro Zeus. Of course, we have Slag here, and we have Slipstream at the bottom there as well. So he is definitely a kind of a Voyager to a leader scale figure. Well, I say Voyager, I mean like original kind of like the 2010 size Voyagers, as opposed to the modern versions, which are itty bitty and tiny. Now, when he wields his weapons, they do look a little bit too small. Now, I know they have been oversized, but they just don't look proportionately correct, in my opinion. And unfortunately, they did change the size of the hole as well. They've increased the width there, so even the super duper big combined Perfect Effects sword, even that is too loose in his hands. Now, to get him changed up into his torso mode, exactly the same as you would with the original. You need to rotate those hands up and around. We want to untab this butt plate and extend this piece up, so that when we bring this up and over, that is now going to form the chest. We can bring the dino head downwards, and that's going to face down. Rotate the waist around so that this plate is now at the front. It's kind of looking a little bit naked at the back here now though, isn't it? Then bring these arms up and round to the front. The arm here is then going to bend around. Rotate the arm around. As we bend this round, there's this tab just here. That's going to tab in to that slot on the back of the arm, holding that into position, and then bring this piece down. That's going to push and tab in to the top of those arms. We can then open up this tab piece on the top and then push, holding this tab, push this section down, and the head will just come up, tab into the top of the dino head, and then this section can just tab down behind. And then we have the very menacing Grimlock head. Looking good, Grimlock, looking good. The options for the legs, yeah, they differ depending on what you want. Some people like to display it with the legs fully extended, but I believe the correct transformation is to have the legs up, and then using this as a joint there, we can then use this as the waist, so that it now rotates up and down from this point. Personally, I think this does look slightly better, having it extended like that. The Perfect Effects kit does make a world of difference on the original. But let's take a look at how he looks in his combined form. And here we have him kind of sort of transformed up into his combined mode. Unfortunately, I've had to put the legs down because he looked far too stocky having the legs up. I've moved the crotch flap down, it just folds down. But at the same time, he now looks very hollow here. He's got very broad shoulders. The arm proportions, I think, work. They actually look okay, but it just doesn't sit well at all. It just doesn't really feel right. It feels very hollowed out. It feels like it's missing something. Maybe it's because the upgrade kit from Perfect Effects kind of really bulked out the torso on the official product, but he just looks very stumpy and very kind of squashed I mean, comparing this with the Perfect Effects version, it really kind of tidies up and fills all of the gaps. We can still slide the arm joints in there as well. That just doesn't look good. Here he is, all kind of squat-legged. Definitely needs the upgrade kit, so we can bring the arms around and have them kind of tucked into the side, so it really tidies it up. We need something for it because he's a really good size. I like the colouring. I like how the face sculpt looks with the silver face mask. I mean, the actual head itself does look nice. It turns quite freely. There's no up and down on there though, but it looks good. But at the same time, the rest of the figure, not so much. It needs the kit to improve it, so if you're willing to wait in the hope that there's a kit, then yeah, it's a highly recommended figure. It does look really quite awesome, but if we get it all combined up, it's just not there. I don't think it looks out of place with the smaller limbs, and with the likes of Perfect Effects or TF Dreamwave doing remarkable upgrade kits for the standard figures, then I'm not sure if the need for these is particularly there. Thanks again to the team over at Toys for making this review possible. I have included a link where you can purchase this guy in the description below. I'll also include a link to their blue slag. Until next time, from myself and the Black Mamba Oversized Power of the Primes Grimlock, goodbye.